Sam Reed and Jacob Anderson, photo, Michelle K. Short / Sony Pictures Television / AMC A Feast of Gothic Horror and Queer Bloodsucker Melodrama. AMC's Interview with the Vampire might take some getting used to for those feeling loyal to the Lewis and Lestat of Anne Rice's esteemed novel, or from Neil. The 8-episode series, created and executive produced by Roland Jones, HBO's Perry Mason, hews close to the characters and terrain mapped out by Rice, but it's no slavishly faithful adaptation. The show charts a pointedly altered course through the tortured liaison of Louis de Pointe-du-Lac, a rogue prince of early 20th century New Orleans, and Lestat de Lioncourt, the former French nobleman who makes Louis a vampire at the age of 33. First of all, this Louis, played by Game of Thrones vet Jacob Anderson, is black, which should strike terror in the hearts of cranks who cry woke at the sight of any non-white person popping up in fiction. Rice's Louis owned a plantation. This Louis is a pimp running brothels in the red light district, a different kind of exploiter of human flesh. And the show, in a brief line of dialogue, even accounts for earlier generations of de Pointe-du-Lacs who passed as white, before the family's fortunes turned and the city turned on its lights. As sumptuous in its production and costume design as it is layered in historical detail, the series immerses itself in a mostly nighttime New Orleans dense with danger and mystery. He's messy, too. The directors and effects team show off with some eye-catching kills. In one scene, Lestat punches a man's brains out, but all that blood and gore drastically undermines Lestat's pose of utter discretion. He is otherwise every inch the dapper gentleman he appears to be, and which Sam Reed embodies so seductively in his performance. Interview with a Vampire, Bailey Bass, photo, Alfonso Bresciani / AMC Reed and Anderson's chemistry as the tempestuous duo, part Dewey romance, part Dom sub affair, covers for many complaints. Reed's Lestat enacts a potent seduction of Anderson's self-reliant but still pliable Louis, paired with a cruelly effective campaign of alienating his prey from the loved ones in his life, like dear sister Grace, Kayline Coleman, and preacher brother Paul, Stephen G. Norfleet. The story, and Coleman's and Norfleet's poignant turns, posit Grace and Paul as the light Louis must leave behind to march forward into the abyss of immortality. His attempt to fill that void with a new love, the child Claudia, a vibrant Bailey Bass, whom he and Lestat make into their vampire sister, eventually sparks the pair's downfall. On the other side of that downfall is the show's framing device, the titular interview in which Louis recounts his life to investigative reporter Daniel Malloy, played with the snark turned up to 11 by Eric Bogosian. Anderson, switching from Louis's big easy drawl in the past scenes to his more urbane monotone in Dubai a century later, can't sell the most stilted passages, but he makes music from some of Louis's dramatic declarations. Lestat was my murderer, my mentor, my lover, and my maker, Louis tells Malloy, who never drops his hard-boiled reporter shtick. Louis wants to convince Malloy and himself that he isn't a monster like Lestat was, but the reporter ain't buying it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.